One of the questions I get asked all the time is, Greg, when should I buy a home in Idaho? Like, when is it a good time? And so I thought, you know what? Let's talk about that, because a lot of people right now are trying to figure out when is the right time to make a move. When's the right time to buy a house in Idaho? When can I capitalize and buy it at the best opportune time? And I'll answer that in this video, but I was thinking, man, sellers are having the same question too right now. They're like, Greg, is it a good time to sell? Should I be selling my house right now, or should I be waiting until the market turns around? And those two answers go hand in hand, and we're gonna dive into that. But I thought, you know what? I should probably tell you where our market is right now, because maybe someone is thinking, man, I do need to sell my house, or man, I think I'm gonna make a move right now. So if you already learned where the market is, if it's a good time to buy or sell, I'm ready to show you all the market stats. So let's go. So when should I sell my house in Idaho, and when should I buy a home in Idaho? I'm gonna talk about that in this video. But first, my name is Greg Langham. I'm an associate broker here in the Boise, Idaho area. So if you're thinking about making a move here to the Boise, Idaho area, or maybe you're here already and you're thinking, man, I do wanna make a move into another home, I gotta get my house listed, pick up the phone, give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email so that we can connect and put a game plan together that's right for you. So let's go take a look at the market stats, kind of see where we're at, go back to the computer, and let's dive in to show you kind of where we've been the last month, because we had the Trump bump, right? I'll call it the Trump bump from the last election. We had a lot of momentum coming to the Boise, Idaho area from just people feeling more confident and ready to make a move. So how does that resonate now that we're midway through the first quarter of 2025? I'm gonna dig into that right now just for you. Okay, so if you remember from the last video I did about our market update and kind of where things were at and how things were trending, we were really starting to see this revamp of energy coming into the Boise, Idaho market. And it's been really positive since we had that Trump bump, call it. So what's happened ever since then, it's kind of like stabilized a little bit. And I'm gonna go ahead and pull up some market stats. I'll put these on the screen for you to follow along, but I'm just gonna give you like the Ada County market stats snapshot. So what that covers, that's like Boise area, Eagle, Meridian, Kuna, Star. So those areas that really kind of encompass the Ada County or Treasure Valley, excluding Caldwell, Nampa. I'll show you those stats here in a little bit, but I'm gonna flip these stats right on the screen just so you can follow along and see what I'm looking at. But for January, so end of January, 1st of February, this is kind of where we're sitting. So the median sales price here is about $538,000. So that's up 4.5% year over year. So again, there's that Trump bump effect that we saw, like all of a sudden we have a lot more positivity coming into our market here in Idaho. Number of homes sold, 493. That's up 6% year over year from where we were last year. So you can kind of start to see this trend happening, that prices are starting to creep up a little bit. We're starting to see home sales go up. Our average day on market though, we're sitting right around 54 days. And I talked about this last time with you is, anything under 4 months is still a seller's market. That doesn't mean that's a seller's market where your sellers are gonna get 110, 120, 150% of the asking price. It just means that there's less inventory on the market than buyers who are coming to the area. So on average, it's taken about 54 days for a home to get listed and to get a contract and to get closed. So it's pretty quick on average, for a real estate transaction to go through. So again, anything under 4 months is considered a seller's market. Anything 4 months or greater as far as inventory or days on market, then you're looking at maybe a buyer's market where you're gonna start to see some really good deals. But I just wanna share with you again, because a lot of people say, well, Greg, it's a seller's market. Do I even have a chance? Of course you do. You're gonna get a sale on the home and you're gonna be able to purchase it. Like I said before, you're just not gonna have to offer 110, 120, 130 over asking. Sellers are still wheeling and dealing, still offering concessions, still allowing you to sell your home prior to making, closing on your new home. So there's some good information there for buyers, or I should say good news for buyers. Even though it is a seller's market, the sellers in Idaho are willing to play ball with you. So that's good news. Now our inventory is at 1,271 homes sitting on the market right now in that Ada County. So that's actually up high, 22.8% year over year. Now, if you're thinking, wow, man, what happened? Well, a lot of what's happened is now that we have more stuff coming on, builders have put a lot of inventory back onto the market and are building like crazy. They are ramping up the homes. So the homes get listed before they're even completed, or sometimes they're listed as to be built, meaning they're not even, out of planning or zoning. They're just to be built. They got a lot and they're gonna put that floor plan on, so they list that. So don't let that number fool you and think, well, geez, Greg, you have 22.8% more inventory on the market. How are you saying it's a seller's market? Well, again, that's a lot of inventory that hasn't even been constructed that gets listed on our local MLS that's counted for. So that's kind of where the Ada County is. So if you remember at the beginning of this video, I'm going to talk about when's the best time to buy a home in Idaho and when the best time to sell a home in Idaho. But first, let's jump in to see exactly what's happening in Canyon County. Okay, so I've got the Canyon County market stats I'll flip onto your screen here really soon. But again, Canyon County incorporates Nampa, Caldwell, Middleton, Wilder, Notice, all these little outside cities that really make Canyon County the gem of an area to live in. But what's interesting is a lot of people who are coming to Idaho right now, or who are looking at relocating, maybe they live here already, but they want a little bit more affordability. That's where they start to trend. They start to head out towards Middleton, they head out towards Nampa, Caldwell, which are fantastic cities to live in. So as I pull up the market stats, you'll see the affordability is completely different than it is in Ada County. So let's flip that onto your screen right now and go through that. Okay, so Canyon County, we're sitting at $425,000 is our median sales price. That's up 6.3% year over year. So that's fantastic. Again, that's that new feeling across the area coming to Idaho. There's just more confidence. Homes sold, 263. That's down 9.9%, which is interesting to see because in Ada County, we're up. What trends happened over the last, year over year where that really kind of took a nosedive down 9% to have more homes sold in 2024 in January and mid first quarter than in 2025. So a lot of that I think was just people kind of pulled back a little bit. Like people who are looking to make a move out to Canyon County, they probably just rented for a little bit longer, or they were able to get a great deal in Ada County, which would have been their first choice for some reason. Maybe they got a rate buy down, or they got some incentives to move in with a builder or something. So it's kind of interesting. We'll see what that number does over the next few quarters, but my guess is it's going to start to climb up very, very quickly. So 63 days on market, again, that's up 31.3% year over year. Not a lot of movement happened last year, in January of last year in Canyon County. So we saw a lot of homes go quickly, and now we're up 31%. I just think, it kind of took some time for people to kind of warm back up to the idea of, hey, it is more affordable out there. Let's go ahead and move out there and get something sold and purchase out there. So 63 days, that's not bad though. That's 2 months, and you could be, if you're selling your house or thinking about selling your house, in the next 60 days, you could be in your new home. So that's kind of how you can look at that. Inventory, 911 homes on the market. So we're up 28.3% year over year. Again, I think a lot of that has to do with just the builders coming back on and opening up subdivisions, getting stuff approved. I mean, we are coming into the spring here, so a lot of people pulled back last year. A lot of builders pulled back because they were uncertain what was going to happen with the election. And so now we kind of know the confidence of where people are feeling and the demand, so they are ramping up. So you'll see that inventory kind of creep up and then stabilize over the next little while. So that's what's kind of happening here in our two markets, the Ada County, Canyon County. But one of the big eye poppers here is the median sale price in Canyon County versus a median sales price in Ada County. That's about a pretty big difference when it comes to buying a home. Again, we're gonna answer that question, when's the best time to purchase a home and when's the best time to sell a home here in Idaho? Right now, a lot of people are hitting me up. They're calling me and saying, hey Greg, we want to get our house listed. We kind of see where the market is right now, so we think we want to give it a shot. We watched your videos, we came to Idaho, we used a buddy or whatever, but we want to use you to sell your house, we want to use your team, which I'm always humbled about. So if you're watching this video, if you're here in the area right now and you're thinking, gosh, you know what, yeah, maybe I do kind of want to get in a different part of town, give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email. I'd love to connect with you, love to see the property, shake your hand, meet you of course, and talk about what the next steps might look like for you and what your goals are. We're a big proponent of just making sure that you are where you want to be. And that's what's great about Idaho, is there's so many options for you to choose from when you come here. I have friends who have moved here. They lived in North Boise, and they just bought out in a beautiful golf community just because they're ready for that change. So seasons happen in life, right? And people move and bounce around. So if you are in that position where you're like, gosh, I do need to make that move, who should we call? Call Greg, I've got you. But if you're watching this and you're thinking, man, I gotta get to Idaho, I wanna get to Idaho, then pick up the phone, give us a call, shoot us a text. It doesn't matter how far along you are in the process. You could have already come here several times and checked things out, and you're ready to commit, maybe to have a realtor help you, or you might be just thinking, you might be watching this video for the first time, I might be meeting you for the first time right now on YouTube, and you're like, hey, this guy's pretty cool. So pick up the phone, give us a call, shoot us a text. I'd love to connect, whether you're 2 years out, 3 years out, or any time in between, and just let's connect and see how we can help you and put a game plan together that's right for you. Okay, so hopefully just seeing those market stats was really helpful for you to kind of see where we're at here in Boise, where are we at here in Idaho, what's our market doing, and if you ever want market stats like that for other parts of Idaho, just shoot me a call, send me an email, and I can just shoot that over to you, no problem whatsoever, no charge. It's what we love to do. We want to get you the information. So, the question I get that I proposed at the beginning of this video is like, when is the best time to make a move to Idaho? And it's a question I get all the time, and it's one that I can't really answer other than by saying, you know what, the best time to move to Idaho was probably like 50 years ago when they were just getting started. You could buy, acres of land in town. That's probably the best time you could have bought in Idaho. But when really is the best time? If you think about what's happened over the past few years here in Idaho, it's just exploded. So my honest answer is probably not the answer you're looking for, but the best time to purchase a home in Idaho is when you can afford to purchase a home in Idaho. Everyone should be buying a home in Idaho right now. We are on the cusp of just an explosion of growth here. And you might see our prices are expensive right now, but if you are in a position to purchase a home right now, I would buy a home in Idaho. And it's not just, and I'll get so many comments, well, you're just a realtor, you're trying to sell, blah, 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 make a commission. No, it's just honest truth. I wish I bought homes in Bend, Oregon on the river when I was a teenager. I wish I could have done that. I wish my parents could have done that and had amazing riverfront property, but we didn't, So if you are in that position to purchase, definitely come to Idaho, purchase. If you can buy without selling and you can get here sooner than later, do that. I think we are gonna see a massive influx of price increases over the next little while. We'll see. I could be completely wrong. It's just impossible to time the market. No one knows, right? If you were selling a home in Idaho during COVID, you would have had no clue that you could have just put a for sale sign in and get 150, maybe 200% over asking price. That's unheard of. You could have never predicted that. And so that kind of leads me into like, when is the best time to sell your house in Idaho? And I think the situation has to be where it's time for you to sell. You either know it or you're ready to take that risk. And it's not the risk of like you might lose money. Of course you want to make that money. But if you've outgrown your space or you are taking kids from one part of town to the other part of town, it's probably time to sell. You're gonna do okay. You're gonna make the money and you're gonna get into that new place, into the new part of town that you wanna be in. And it's gonna be able to be fantastic as you just ride that appreciation in that area that you're gonna be in. So you may have moved to Idaho and you may have bought because you needed a home. and now you're settled in for a while, but it's just maybe not like the best place that you want to be. That's okay. Let's run the numbers for you. Let's see if it makes sense. Let's see if you can squeeze out equity out of it. You do have equity, I know that, if you bought here. So let's just look at the numbers and see kind of where you're at. We're happy to run those numbers for you. I'm happy to show you what the market is, where it's at for your particular neighborhood, and kind of the likelihood of it to sell. Now, you know, of course you can put any price you want on your house, but within reason, I think you might be able to sell it just because we don't have a lot of homes available for sale here. We have just, you know, if you do the market math, we're under 4 months of inventory, which makes you as a seller in the driver's seat. So if you're thinking, yeah, man, like, I love where I'm at, but I'd much rather be over here. Is it time to sell? Yeah, then it probably is time to sell. If that's where your feeling is and that's where you want to be, then let's do it. Let's get together. Let's just look at the numbers. No obligation, no pressure. That's the kind of way, that's how I roll. So when's the best time to buy? When's the best time to sell? You know, best time to buy in Idaho was 50 years ago. But the truth is, when you can buy a home and just hang on to it. Sell a home. It's the best time to sell a home is when you're ready to sell a home, or if it's getting to the point where you're just like, this is crazy. Why are we driving all this way to go to and from to take kids to practice or to go to the grocery store, or man, we always find ourselves over on that side of town. Like, maybe let's look at that and see if it's a right position or you're in the right position to sell. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope you learned a lot about our market and where it's at. And I do think, and I know it's gonna happen online, but I do think we have that Trump bump going on here in Boise, Idaho. I really do. So if you are in California, you're in Oregon, you're in Washington, you're in Arizona, New Mexico, even Texas, we've helped a lot of people come over from Texas because they moved there and they're like, yeah, we can't stand the heat. Now's the time. Reach out, give us a call, and let's connect and help you get to Idaho and find that Idaho home and enjoy your spring and summer here in a beautiful state. So if you're ready to make the Idaho move happen, pick up the phone, give us a call, shoot us a text, and go Idaho.